This video is proudly sponsored by Carly. It's very early and I'm heading down to buy back my first ever car. You see, between the years of 1999 and 2003, I lived in Australia. And after moving back to the UK in 2004, I purchased my first ever car. And you might be shocked and horrified to hear that that wasn't a BMW. In fact, it was a Volkswagen Golf GTI. Nothing as nice and fancy as this 300 horsepower GTI Club Sport press car, but still, it was a dream car for me back then, and something that I have fond memories of even until today. After owning it for about 2 years, in April 2006, I sold it on to a guy called Charlie, and that's who we're going to meet today. You see, Charlie has owned and run that car for the past 20 odd years, and he's about to sell it back to me. Wow. And here it is, guys. My 2001 Mark IV 3-door Golf GTI in reflex silver. The 2 litre, not the 1.8 turbo. In fact, I wanted the 1.8 turbo, but I couldn't afford one to buy at the time because they were more expensive than the 2 litre, and I'll get to that in a second. And also, they were more expensive to insure. And the reason for that is, although it's a 2 litre, it's a naturally aspirated 2 litre. And, well, let's just say it barely, when it was new, had more power than my middleweight F900 GS Adventure motorbike. So it was no rocket ship. And in fact, the GTI Club Sport that I turned up in today will do the 0 to 60 sprint in just over 5 seconds, whereas this bad boy took over 10 seconds to reach 60 miles an hour. So it was hardly the hot hatch that it was labelled up as at the time, but that was probably good for me as a relatively new driver and someone who had a lot more adrenaline and speed in my system back in the day. But I do remember when I first drove this car back from picking it up, thinking, wow, this really isn't that fast. But as I said, that was a blessing in disguise, probably for me as a younger person. But seeing it here today, it's just brought back so many memories. And obviously recently, leading up to this day, I have been finding old pictures of the car, and obviously Charlie has been sending me some photos of it sitting here and little video clips and stuff, but still getting up close and personal to it for the first time in almost exactly 20 years is incredible, especially as the sun has decided to come out and it's a beautiful day, bearing in mind we're in the middle of October. And although this has plenty of obvious war wounds on it, dents, scratches, scrapes, you name it, the overall quality of the paint is really, really impressive, because remember, this is basically 25 years old. That's 25 UK winters, and it's also spent the majority of that time in central London, and that's what a lot of the marks are from, people parking. I think this was a delivery truck, but we'll go through that story, I'm sure, with Charlie shortly. But overall, it's incredible, and I really think it does demonstrate and show you just how over-engineered and well-built the Mark IV Golf was. German engineering at its finest, and maybe some people said that it was engineered like a tank, and I mean, standing here today, it certainly looks like it, and I'm hopefully going to benefit from that. And although I know it's not a runner at the moment, it's not MOT'd or taxed or anything, just want to see that the engine fires into life before later loading it onto a truck, and it will head off to my good friends at Elite Garages and hopefully they'll be able to bring it back to its former glory, at least in terms of the way it runs. We'll then look at what we can do in terms of its aesthetics, whether we leave it in this relatively rundown state or whether we try and bring it back to how it was when it was relatively new, when I picked it up back in 2004. As I mentioned in the intro, this video is proudly sponsored by Carly. For those of you who aren't familiar with Carly, this is a mobile and wireless OBD adapter. I can plug it into the OBD on pretty much all modern cars. In fact, 95% of new cars since 2001, when this car was born. I actually did something with Carly about 6 months ago, and I used my M2 competition as an example. There are so many features and functions on the Carly app these days, I could talk about it for hours, but one of my favorite features of Carly is the ability to do some coding. And because this is an F-Series BMW, there are hundreds of different coding features we can play with. One of my favorite things is playing around with the dashboard or instrument cluster. For instance, the M2 competition logo that lights up when you get in or out of this car, we can change that to M2CS or even M2CSL. I've plugged that in. I'm now going to fire up the app. And in fact, I've already added my Mark IV Golf. And now the fun begins. I can access pretty much everything I want to access. But firstly, I need to press connect. So let's just let the app connect wirelessly to the OBD reader down there. Okay, so now we have lots of options. We have diagnostics options, we have live data options. We can do a used car check on this, check out things like the mileage, whether it's going to tally up over the 25 years of its life. So make sure you check Carly out using the link in the description below or my pinned comment, and use the discount code JOE15 for 15% off. Now let's get back to Charlie and having a walk around this beautiful car. I'm going to introduce you to Charlie, who has been the owner of my wonderful car for the past almost 20 years, and we can talk to him about why this has been sitting here for the past 15 or 16 months. It's your moment, mate.
Joe, good to see you again. How you doing?
How's it going? Oh, really good to see you, man.
20 years?
I know, 20 years. Off camera earlier on, we're both like, we both look kind of the same, but we've got more grey hairs and maybe put on a little bit of weight. But
bit less hair.
Bit less hair, yeah. Life gets in the way. But mate, it's
how does it feel? 20 years after all this time.
It's been a bit emotional, but I think a lot of that is down to the fact that you've been sending me updates and pictures of it sitting here. So I've kind of, it's not been too much of a shock.
You knew what to expect.
Exactly, yeah. But still, just coming up and seeing it for the first time, it's just lovely. And the number plate, just everything about it. It's, it brings back so many amazing memories, and yeah, it's just incredible to be here today and see it in the flesh. But what, I mean, seriously, what is...
Well, I mean, a psychologist would have a field day, but this is all of the documentation relating to the car, all kind of carefully collated for you, Joe. And I thought you might want to see this one kind of piece here.
Tax disc.
Yeah, I know.
Tax disc.
I know. Why did I keep them?
Some of my viewers will be like, what is a tax disc?
Well, a tax disc, viewers, was.
Yeah.
And there's a V5, and I thought you might really want to see this, because I don't know if you remember this, but this is literally the purchase invoice, sales invoice from when I bought it from you back in 2006.
28th of April, 2006.
Received with thanks, £4,650 cash on the 28th of April 2006.
No way.
Joe Achilles, look at that.
And I know that is mine because the terrible handwriting hasn't changed, probably got worse over the years.
Why did I keep it all? I don't know.
That is incredible.
For this moment, I guess.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow, that is crazy. Life goes way too quickly, guys. If you're watching this and you're younger than both of us, make the most of your life, because honestly, not that it's been a bad life, it's been a great life. I've enjoyed the past 20 years, but wow, doesn't it go like
2006, if you'd asked me, in my head it's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, now I've seen that, can we sort of go back to that time and talk a little bit about sort of you coming to pick the car off me in London? Because I was living at my parents' flat in central London in Paddington at the time. but it's a bit blurry. I remember getting rid of it, and I remember not wanting to sell it. But what are your memories?
I had a company car for ages. I just changed jobs. I didn't have a company car.
Yep.
I needed a car. This had been my last company car, like a few years before. I really liked the Golf Mark IV. I had a GTI as well. And then you had this on eBay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was the lucky winning bidder.
Yeah.
And I remember stopping off at Sloane Square to get the cash out, to come up to Paddington, to Westbourne Terrace to pick it up. I remember meeting your parents.
Yes.
Seeing the car. It was exactly as I think you just had another bash on it in between advertising on eBay and then me actually picking it up. So you knocked like a couple $100 off or something.
Sure.
Which I'm sure we'll get to, because that bash is still actually on the car.
On one of the wheel arches, yeah.
It was my daily car for years and years and years. And then I remember I'd had it for about 10 or 12 years, and I was going through all the paperwork, and I saw that purchase invoice. And I remember your name. I remember it was quite an unusual name. I just did a quick Google of you.
Yeah.
Saw where you were, and I just pinged you that first email, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, just saying, Joe, don't know if you remember me, but I bought you a car, just to let you know it's still going, and it's not my daily driver anymore. It's now my second car.
Yep.
But I just thought I'd like to let you know that it was still alive.
Yep.
And you loved that, and you emailed me back. And then weirdly, it became this kind of annual or every 2-year thing where you would email me or I would email you, just say, Joe, it's gone through its MOT again, it still lives. And you'd like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And then on to what happened beginning of last year.
Going back to that first email you sent me, I was checking earlier on, it was actually April 2016. So 10
years afterwards.
The subject was the number plate, which is quite a memorable number plate. And in fact, again, that was a standard plate back in the time. That's not like a private plate, even though it maybe looks it, because it's quite short compared to a lot of modern plates, right?
Yeah.
But I saw that in the subject, and I thought, oh, what's
happened?
It's
been nicked, or it's been in an accident.
Something's happened. And and as you say, and then every January, without fail, you would send me the most amazing update. Well, mostly send me a picture of it, parked out in the street in London.
It became a thing, didn't it?
Yeah, it became a thing. But it was just really, it was a really nice story for me. And I'm quite vocal on my channels about how a lot of brands and manufacturers pretend to be, or they use this sustainability word too much, and it's all about getting this and getting that. But at the end of the day, most of them just want to sell new cars, and to me, that's not necessarily doing anything to save the planet. But when you see something like the Passat that I featured on my channel last year or the year before, and then you see something like this, it's 25 years old, and okay, it's not running at the moment. We're going to get onto that, but it's still, as I've just talked about before Charlie came on, the quality, the build quality of it, it's still built like a tank. It's still solid, and it's still got some years left in its life. And really, the footprint that this is going to leave behind when it finally dies is so minimal when you spread it out over all those years, and what it's done for you, what it's done for me, and what it, I'm sure, did for the first owner.
It's been faultless. It was relegated to second car probably 10 or 15 years ago, but it was brilliant, and it just didn't cost me anything. Every year it just sailed through its MOT. Shockingly, it would go years and years without being serviced, because I was only doing like 1,500, 2,000 miles a year in it, and all the time it was running, just leave it. So it just didn't cost me anything. Insurance was cheap. And then beginning of last year, it started making, having never let me down, it started making some pretty nasty noises from the gearbox. And I knew it was the clutch, and I could feel that the clutch was starting to judder. I knew it was on its way out. And then
So what did you do about that?
I did nothing about that, and I continued to drive it and treat it appallingly, like I always did, really, not give it probably the love that it deserved. And I was driving down the A21 busy road in south of England on the May Day bank holiday, Saturday of the May Day bank holiday, and finally on a single carriageway bit, it gave up the coast and just juddered to a halt and couldn't get into gear. Clutch had obviously completely had it.
Yeah.
And called the RAC. They wouldn't come out because I was blocking the road, so I had to call the police. They completely cordoned off the A21. So apologies to all of the bank holiday traffic on that May Day bank holiday weekend, because I probably ruined so many people's getaways that weekend.
Yeah.
Police came, blocked the road, and the RAC recovered it, and they recovered it to my parents' farm in Sussex, which was where I was heading that day, while I mused on what to do with it. And that musing went on for months and months, and then a year, and it just stayed here. And then you emailed me to say, I haven't had an update. What's happening with the car?
Yes.
And I gave you this whole tale of wojo as to what had happened. And that's when you said, okay, please don't scrap it. Please don't sell it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little think about a project that I've got in mind.
Yeah.
And here you are a couple of months later.
Yeah. Well, it didn't take me long, did it? When you said, I'm going to probably scrap it, and, you didn't want much for it at all. I think it was it the same day or the next day. I was like, no, no, I'll figure it out later. I'm taking this off you because I'll
buy it now and I'll work out how I can do something with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll work it out later, and then I spoke to people like Elite Garages who said very kindly that they're going to get involved and help me with the sort of mechanical rebuild on it. But I'm hoping that we'll actually be able to fire it up today, at least get the engine running. That would be nice. But it's just a fantastic story, and honestly, I can't thank Charlie enough for all of the updates and for your time today, because you live in central London and we're 2.5 hours away in this beautiful setting. It really is.
Well, I like the story as well. It's, as I said to you on email, it's very serendipitous. To have a car that I've had for 20 years, bought off you, and then for it to come full circle and sell it back to you. I mean, that just doesn't really happen, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's lovely. I couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather sell it to. So
Brilliant, nice. What we should do now is maybe roll it forward a little bit so we can have a quick walk around of it. Have a look at all of the London war wounds and just the general state of it, and then we might connect it up with the jump pack. And I'll get behind the wheel of it, because I haven't been behind the wheel of it for almost 20 years, which is crazy. I have to say, the seats and stuff still look like relatively modern. It's like there's certain parts of this car that haven't aged at all. I mean, they're not quite the seats that are in that GTI Club Sport, but they still look really good. Then we'll see if we can fire it up, get it going in a couple of hours' time. There's a recovery truck actually coming down to take this away, because it's not taxed, it's not insured or MOT'd or anything.
Doesn't drive,
all of the above. And then it will head off to Elite Garages, and the next video in this series will be me at Elite, and then probably telling me all the things that it needs replacing to get it going.
All the things I haven't told you which are wrong with it.
Exactly, yeah. You did say, you said, actually, Joe, I put some tyres on it recently, but they were the cheapest, I won't use the terminology that you probably use, tyres that I could find. And I was like, actually, that doesn't matter to me, because we're going to throw some nice Michelins on it, as I'm sure that won't surprise you. But anyway, right, let's see if we can roll it forward, and then we'll have a nice walk around and check out what it looks like. That is gold.
Great stuff.
There we go. Where do you want it? Just...
Oh, it's fine,
just keep going. Just not blocking the road. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got, the wheel arches, ironically, I think all 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, everyone's got some kind of ding or bash and story to tell.
Story to tell. And I think, actually, can we start with this one? Because this bad boy is my doing. And like you briefly said earlier on, I remember that happening just before you came to pick it up, and in fact after I'd listed it and probably sold it on eBay.
Yeah.
And I was with Mum in the car. I think I'd just picked her up from Heathrow, or I was coming back from an airport, and we just heard this almighty noise at 70, 80 miles an hour. And it wasn't until the next morning that I looked around the car, because I didn't see it that evening. I was like, thank God we got away with that, because it sounded like someone chucked a brick at the car. And still to this day, I have no idea
what was it? It's a hell of a...
Who knows? Yeah. And when I remember at the time thinking, God, I went to a body shop and they're like, that is seriously, like, it's so strong and you never get that perfectly out because of the, how well built this panel is. And if that doesn't show you how well galvanized and how good the steel is on this car, then I don't know what will, because that was basically exposed when I sold you the car 20
years ago. Yeah.
And it hasn't spread at all. And it's still as solid as anything. So the original war wound. And then we got, I must admit, I do like the the boot there. Is that
Yeah.
push chairs and
Yeah, and tip runs and
runs.
yeah, God knows what else. Boot fairs and yeah, everything. Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. That was a argument with a scaffold lorry on,
Oh, okay.
on the South Bank, Vauxhall. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that and this
And
bit
that,
here.
yeah, no,
nice.
definitely.
Full job.
Yeah.
And the wheels, I think they're 15s or 16s. I did ask, I know you told me, because I've obviously been, oh yeah, these really look like good quality tyres. Yeah, they're nice. Is that a special sidewall feature there?
Yeah. Another 15,000 miles in that, Joe, I reckon.
The wheels on the new one over there, I should know again, but I'm going to say they're like 19s. Yeah, 19s. I mean, 19s, and they just about fill the wheel arch of a modern Golf GTI. And these are 15s. I mean, look at the tyre sidewall. They're comical in comparison.
That was a Parcel Force truck,
Okay.
which I came back and there was a note on the windscreen. One of my neighbours had clocked this Parcel Force truck, nicking it. And they'd driven off and he'd give me all the details, you know, registration number and stuff. So that was an insurance claim through Parcel Force.
Most cars of this age, well, they don't make it this far normally, but around here you can see that's where you normally get a build-up of stuff, of moisture and rot. And although it's going green, there's actually, you know, there's very little corrosion and rot around that area.
As you said, I mean, there's so many bare steel places on it,
Yeah.
and it just hasn't really
Hasn't spread.
hasn't spread at all. Yeah, as I said, I don't know what steel they used or what treatment they did to them, but it's it's extraordinary how it's lasted, really.
I'm going to have to go and have a sit in before we attempt to start it up, just because I'm desperate to go and experience that sort of driving position again for the first time in 20 odd years. Do you mind if I give you that camera?
Of course, yeah.
And let's. Oh, nice big doors, big opening. Oh, look at it. It is timeless in here. It's so nice. It's before, I recently had a BMW Z8 for our wedding, and actually similar sort of era. And it's kind of like before sat-navs became a big thing. And I think a few years after this, interiors like the Mark V are really dated these days because it's like early navs and they look awful. Whereas this predates that. And so you don't have, it's just very basic.
Yeah, nothing which dates it. It's a bit more timeless.
Yeah, it's almost like a nice analog watch or whatever. You've got proper dials in it. Anyway, let's jump in. Look at these seats. The seats still look so good. Like, seriously, how many miles has it done?
I think it's 160 or something.
Wow.
160,000, yeah.
Oh my God. Actually, I go on about Volkswagen Audi Group driving positions getting better and better over the years. But you know what? Sitting in here, I'm sitting so nice and low. I've got loads of headroom. This feels great. Does it have reach rake?
Yeah,
oh,
look at that. All mod cons.
Oh my good. Oh, this brings back some serious memories. Cup holders.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. The
CD player, tape deck.
Everything. I remember thinking I was so cool in this car. Oh my goodness. I remember driving my parents around in it just after I'd picked it up, and I just couldn't stop grinning. I was so proud of it. And I mean, it's an epic car.
Did you think you'd made it, Joe?
I thought I'd made it in life, absolutely. Even though most of it was bought, I think I took out a bank loan at the time. I can't remember what it cost me, because if I sold it to you for, what was that?
4,650, did we say?
4,650.
And I think it was on for 4,849, but you knocked off a couple hundred quid because of the wheel arch.
The wheel arch. I think I paid about £6,000 for it when I got it, maybe end of 2004. Which actually, I got probably a good deal on it then, because I think these were about 18, 19 grand when they're brand new. Which in today's world, you look at that, it's nearly 50 grand. But inflation. Wow, I mean, these seats still feel good today. I think they were made by Recaro, and they feel great. This is gonna be me in many years smoking a cigar, going around in there. I love it.
Your Blaupunkt stereo on full blast, yeah.
Look at that. It's so cool. We've got some tape. Well, they're definitely not mine, are they? What have we got here? Lenny Kravitz?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, these are cool. The Police. Wait, do these come as part of the sale?
Don't know, by separate negotiation.
Oh, okay, yeah. I might need to factor them in. Awesome, mate. Well, I think next is just trying to see if we can start it. I've got a jump pack with me, so we'll maybe pop the bonnet. I'll do that now. There you go. Oh, the bonnet release works and everything. And have a look around. Have I popped it? Is it popped?
Have,
or... yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Look at that. See, engine. Again, you don't get that. It's just so over-engineered, isn't it? It's the little details. The strut. Listen to that. It still sings. Perfect. I mean, and there it is. The 2 litre. So we talked a little bit about this in the intro. And it's definitely not a fire-breathing hot hatch like that is. We are looking at a 2 litre 8 valve, naturally aspirated. And when it was new, produced 115 horsepower and 172 newton meters of torque. I had to check that out a few times because I just couldn't believe that such a low torque figure would actually move a car. And yeah, claim 0 to 60 time, I think it was 10.2 seconds. But
I mean, that would have been slow even then, wouldn't it? Or...
It was. I think it definitely was, because the 1.8 turbo that you could get alongside this, I think that was about 7.5, which was obviously massively faster. But as a result, this was a lot cheaper to insure and a lot cheaper to buy in the first place.
Give those a bit of a clean.
And look, Charlie's actually organically about to use some GT85 here. And I spotted that when we got down here this morning.
There we go.
Lovely, jubbly.
There we
Awesome.
Go. Right.
So,
That definitely is a positive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I've got this boost pack, so I think I have used it years ago, and it did the job. But let's just see, because this is obviously very dead. Definitely looks like it's pulsing, doing something positive, doesn't it?
So nothing on the dash at all?
No. Yeah, you'd think there would be something, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Right. Let me go and get the forklift and yeah.
Perfect. Okay, mate.
Right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Right. So my boost pack doesn't seem to be making enough of a difference to send enough current to the battery to give us any kind of life. But thankfully, Charlie has a forklift truck, a big forklift truck, and we're going to try and jump it from that, because it should, in theory, send a lot more juice to the battery. Well, when you need something jump starting, there's nothing quite like an old, big forklift truck. I think that's going to have enough juice. We now have a traffic jam from the 60s.
All right, let me start the forklift as well. I'll give that some beans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, you want to see if you've got anything now?
Yeah. No.
Nothing?
No. Right, jump pack has failed. Forklift truck has failed because the battery is so dead. It's been sitting here for 15, 16 months. But we have got one more plan. If all else fails, then, I mean, you've just got to draft in another Mark IV Golf that does run. I would have attempted to use the Mark 8.5 GTI Club Sport that I have, but Charlie very rightly pointed out that ultra modern cars like that sometimes don't like being used to jumpstart other cars or being jump started. Oh my God, one sec, I didn't even put the key in, we've got some readings. Woohoo! Right, I might need to give you that.
Okay, all right.
This could be the big moment. And now it's, because the clutch is broke, it's not going to jump forward, is it?
No,
There's
it's
no
in
drive.
it's in neutral,
Okay.
so it should be good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. 165,700 miles.
There we go.
Here we go. Oh, this all looks pretty good. Yeah. Service now, Charlie. Okay. No, not quite. We need it to charge up a little bit more. I'll turn the ignition off for a sec.
Ooh. Go, try it now. Yeah.
No. Right, so we're just allowing the battery in my Golf to trickle charge up a little bit, because although I'm now getting some lights on the dashboard, it doesn't quite have enough current to turn the engine over and get the engine started. So yeah, just doing this for 5 minutes, allow this to hopefully get a tiny bit of a base charge, and then we'll give it another go. Oh, big moment. Okay, we're cutting for lunch now. You now join us about an hour later. We've been out and got some lunch, which was amazing. The battery has been on charge, but rather than taking a gamble, we've actually nicked a battery out of Charlie's lovely Jeep, because we know that's new and has plenty of charge in it. And we want it to work this time, because we've got about an hour before the car's getting collected.
Here we go, yeah, moment of truth.
Here we go.
Oh, we got lights looking good.
Lights, service now. I think I could hear a fuel pump as well.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, that's the clutch,
that's
isn't
the clutch.
Is that the sound you're hearing?
Yeah.
Listen to that. She's running. Oh, I'm going to let her run for a little bit before I give her a little rev. Because obviously she hasn't run for what, 15, 16 months?
No.
But look at that, smooth as anything.
Smooth, no smoke.
Oh, what a peach. Woohoo! Mate, it sounds better than I thought it was going to. I think it sounds better than the new one.
Yeah.
And let me just show everyone on that camera, actually, one of my favourite features of the Mark IV Golf. Not that you'll see it in this light, but it's the blue dials, so they go blue at night. And I remember when I was younger, I used to think that was so futuristic and so cool. My dad's Passat of the era, same era, also had blue dials. And but yeah, I think it's aged well. The dials look great. I love analog dials. I miss them with everything being digital today. But oh mate, that is just fantastic. Really, really cool. Brilliant. Woohoo! Excellent. Right, well, I don't want to turn it off now. I might just let it run.
Yeah, I'll leave it running for a bit, yeah.
Mate, it's got over a third of a tank of fuel. Do I need to, like, is that
that's on the house.
Yeah, oh, it's on the house, thanks. I am going to leave today's video here, Charlie. Yeah, I just want to say a massive thanks, mate. It's been really, it's been a fun day outside of the cars, just coming down here. Honestly, this beautiful weather, the beautiful farm, but I'm just looking forward to hopefully bringing my first car back to some kind of sort of running state. And I mean, the first step is turning the engine over, and that's happening now, and it seems to be running really smoothly.
Yeah, reassuring that it started first crank as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, I look forward to uncovering what Elite Garages find. The plan with them is they're actually going to do like a pre-MOT with it, if you like. So run through all of the car and all the items and stuff, and see if they can find anything that needs replacing before I head down there in a couple of weeks' time, and we go about sort of rebuilding it and putting it in some kind of fit state. Because obviously, if they did it straight off the bat, they might discover that they need some parts, and then I won't be there to film it. So they're going to get all that pre-work done before I turn up for the next episode of this video. But until then, yeah, as I say, once again, massive thanks to Charlie for everything over the past 20 years. And I appreciate you selling the car back to me. I hope you've enjoyed the video as much as I have. And it's just something that's a little bit different for the channel. And I hope that you're going to enjoy the journey that is ahead. Big thanks to Carly as well for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check them out using the link below in the description or the pinned comment, and get a discount using Joe15 for 15% off. Until the next one, take it easy and I'll see you then. Cheers.